Guys, this is Scribbly again with another pen review, and today we are going to have a review of a Waldmann pen. It's a pen brand that I have reviewed before. Not a lot of pens, or Waldmann pens that I have reviewed, but some of them. And it's actually a very interesting pen maker, a very interesting brand making high quality fountain pens. And I do think that these fountain pens, they don't get the recognition that they should probably get. You don't see them very often in the pen community. I don't know why that is, because it's really good pens. Let's look at the packaging of this Edelfeder here first. Edelfeder is a German word. Edel means, you know, precious, high quality or something like that. Feder means nib. Made in Germany by Waldmann. Waldmann, a pen manufacturer from southern Germany, from the Black Forest area around the city of Pforzheim. That's the packaging of the Waldmann Edelfeder black cardboard. The pen costs €409 with a gold nib. That's pretty much upmarket. I'll discuss price again a little bit in the end. I think it's a bit steep, but you know, the pen has a lot of sterling silver and stuff like that, so it's probably an all right price. A very interesting opening mechanism here, you know, a flap that you put down, take out this box very nicely. It's not real leather, I think it's faux leather, but Edelfeder, you know, made in Germany by Waldmann, looks very cool. The Edelfeder logo here, that's not the Waldmann logo, that's a specific logo for the Edelfeder pen. You open up right here very nicely, you know. Right here we have a little emblem saying again the €409, but you know, you're paying for 925 sterling silver, a lot of handmade steps involved in making this pen, so I think it's not too bad of a deal. On top of that, you get a 10-year worldwide international warranty from Waldmann. You know, who nowadays gives you 10 years of warranty if they're not convinced that what they do is actually pretty much top notch. You do get a little instruction card here for the different filling systems. Came in that little pouch here. Dieses hochwertige Schreibgerät hat eine Kappe mit Schraubsystem. Bitte nicht ziehen, meaning this high quality writing instrument does have a cap that is to screw off, so don't pull it off. Interesting, never seen that. Coming with a pen, such a remark. And then you here have a silver polishing cloth, because as said, the pen does have quite a bit of sterling silver going onto it. So you can polish that. If it would get a bit patinate, you can polish it glossy again. Let's look at the pen. Without wanting to do injustice to the pen, first thing I thought when I saw it was, oh, looks like a Graf von Faber-Castell classic. You know, pretty much that kind of pen design with that sort of like, you know, chiseled cap right here, and you know, the way the body tapers down, you know, sort of like a flat top design pen. As said, you know, I think the design is best described by, looks like a Graf von Faber-Castell classic or Guilloche or something like that. Of course, it doesn't look exactly the same, but sort of like that direction. Let's look at the cap. The cap right here is like sort of like made with the Edelfeder logo in it. You then have like sort of like a couple of ridges right here, and then sort of like a black metal filling. The clip also does say metal, in case you didn't think what it's made of. It's metal. Very nice, clean, long clip. I don't think it's spring-loaded. It's not. Very usable clip, very nicely. You can use that very well to slide a pen in a pen pouch or shirt pocket. Fantastic. Then a very long, heavy cap, you know, saying 925 for the sterling silver and W for Waldmann. Has then a beautiful sort of like patterning right here, very nicely. It has a highly glossy surface right here without that pattern. That here is meant, you know, in order, if you would like to have the pen personalized, engraved, and that's where your name would go. Then pen does taper down right here, says Edelfeder, made in Germany. We have a tapering, glossy body and again a silver blind end cap right here. As said, it's a screw-on cap. It takes two full turns to get the cap off. Has an inner cap to prevent the nib from drying out. Works very well. I have never had an issue with this pen drying out. You could post that pen if you would want to, but since it's a sterling silver cap, it makes it awfully top heavy and also very, very long and unwieldy. So I would basically, it does post fairly securely though, but you know, that here feels a little bit sharp also here, that bit where the pen posts or the cap posts onto the barrel. I would never ever sort of like post that pen. You know, it's plenty long enough and very comfortable and balanced, by the way, if you're holding it in the hand, just like that. Let's look at the nib. This is one of the most beautiful nib designs out there, I think, right up there with Pelikan and, you know, Mont Blanc. Very, very beautiful bicolor nib. I love the wide nib shoulders. We're looking at a fine nib here in 18 karat. 1928, it says, you know, the founding year of Waldmann, the Waldmann logo on here. Feet down there is a very fantastic nib, guys. This is also one of the most spectacular nibs writing experience wise, with a hint of feedback, but very juicy, very bouncy. I really like this nib. Very, very nice writing experience. You then have a section here that also sort of reminds me a little bit of the Graf von Faber-Castell, you know, classic or guilloche section. Is a slimmer section that does flare out. It's like a plain metal section. So, you know, if you have problems with metal sections, then that one can get a little bit slippery. And that's what it is for me, you know, like for me, it's a bit too slippery. I can't write comfortably with that pen for longer periods of time or in summer. For me, it's just too slippery. You have a step up here onto the barrel and some threading. That's not very, very sharp. So you could even probably grab your pen up here, but I don't know why you would want to do it, because the pen is actually plenty long enough, or the section, so to speak. And then the flaring down here, you know, would help you that if it would get a little bit slippery, you can actually not really slide down onto the nib. That can't happen, so that's very nice. And I also find the nib is nice and large, you know, very, very beautifully proportioned towards the rest of the pen. Overall, very, very nice, you know, some scroll work on that nib. Looks super cool. You unscrew the barrel and then you see that it's a cartridge converter filled pen, and I do have like a standard international converter in there at the moment. It's a Kaweco one. Pen is filled with diamine blue black, one of my standard what is it called, review inks. Let's do a size comparison to my standard size reference pen, which is a Lamy Safari. That's what it looks like. I think it's safe to say that these pens are pretty much exactly the same length when capped. The Waldmann Edelfeder and the, or Edelfeder, as I have heard some Americans or British people say. It's called Edelfeder. Just if you want to know how to pronounce it correctly, not because I want to sound posh, because I also have an awfully terrible German accent when I speak English, but just if you're interested in it, it's pronounced Edelfeder. That's what the picture looks like. The Edelfeder slightly shorter than the Lamy Safari, and that's, you know, what the section looks like. That's you know, you see what I meant when I said that this is a slimmer section, but a nice large nib. Here's a pencil. You know, it's almost like a pencil diameter section. Pencil, bit slimmer, but you know, I think the comparison to a Graf von Faber-Castell Classic or Guilloche is actually not that far off, if I'm thinking about it. Let's do a writing sample with this, as I must say, fantastic writer, Waldmann 18 karat gold bicolor nib. Pen did dry up a little bit. This nib has a characteristic, I think you heard it. Fountain pen jargon for that is like that nib sings. Some people hate it, some people like it. I've had a few nibs who do that, singing. So that nib here, at least this version, I don't know if it's all of them, but this version here does sing. Waldmann Edelfeder. Fantastic writing experience, guys. Very smooth, a hint of feedback, very, very beautiful. Let's see, the nib is very bouncy. That's the writing experience, or the line, what the line looks like without applying any pressure. And if I do apply some pressure, you know, I actually really get somewhere. It gets wider and wetter. Very, very nice. This is one of the nicest nibs that I've been writing with. That's why I said, you know, like extremely great build quality of the pen, super great nib, super writing experience. That's why I do find those pens somewhat underrated or not talked about as often as we should talk about them probably. As said, it's a very nice, singing, wet writer, very, very wet, you know, very, very nice writing experience. I guess that should suffice. I could obviously write with that pen the whole day, but I need to stop it from rolling off right here. Guys, it's a nice pen, as said, very well built quality, made from sterling silver, costing 400 euro. Guess that's okay, you know, it's an sterling silver material in there, 18 karat gold nibbed pen. Coming from company Waldmann, located in southern Germany. You know, like it's Pforzheim is a city where they do make a lot of jewelry, especially silver jewelry. They pride themselves in putting a lot of like effort and handicraft into this pen. So I do think the price is okay. Two things that I think, or three things that I wanted to point out that I find, you know, not faulty, but a little bit annoying with a pen of that top-notch quality and aspiration and price level. One thing being is like sort of like, I don't really understand the design decision to put a matte finial up there, because it doesn't really go with the whole rest of the pen. So I would have loved, you know, to see a glossy finial that's sort of like the same color as the cap, because I think it just does break the design a little bit. But that's just me. You know, a second thing that I find a little bit irritating is this engraving surface here. You know, I mean, like, I get it that some people may want to have the pen personalized, but, you know, for the ones that don't, why can't you have a second cap that's sort of like, you know, for the people that don't want the pen engraved, that has like a pattern there, and, you know, then the people who want it engraved get that one with the engraving, and the people who don't want it engraved get it without that one, but with a pattern. That's the second thing. And the third thing that also does annoy me a little bit is like that this Edelfeder made in Germany thing here, that doesn't align with the clip, or that the clip isn't centered, right? I mean, like, I would like this to look like this, not like this. It's a minimal thing, but, you know, also when you have the pen uncapped, the nib, the back of the nib does not align with the middle. You know, I would like the back of the nib to align with this logo here, and not like this. You know, it's not an issue, you know, it doesn't sort of like do anything to the writing experience. But, you know, to make the overall package perfect, these would be the three things that I would probably like to see a little bit differently. Otherwise, guys, this is a fantastic pen, fantastic package. And I'm happy to, you know, contribute a little bit to the awareness of the Waldmann pens out there. Guys, that was that with that review, and I'll see you at the next review. Ciao, ciao.